In wake of continuous ceasefire violations by Pakistani troops along the international border, Home Minister Rajnath Singh called a high-level meeting with External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval to review the situation. Meanwhile, in yet another ceasefire violation, Pakistani troops resorted to unprovoked firing in which 4 people were injured. Pakistani forces resorted to heavy firing in Arispura sector around 2 a.m., to which Indian Army retaliated. India has lodged a protest with Pakistan over the repeated ceasefire violations. In a major decision, the Cabinet gave its nod to Foreign Investment Composite Cap, which would club together foreign direct investment, foreign portfolio investment and investments by non-resident Indians. The proposal is aimed at simplification of FDI policy with the view of attracting foreign investments and also improving ease of doing business in India. Among other decisions, the Cabinet approved spending of 8,500 crore rupees on multi-state power transmission system. It also gave its nod to the development of 6-laning of Eastern Peripheral Expressway and redevelopment of 400 railway stations across the country. The Cabinet sanctioned 700 crore rupees for additional funds for recapitalization of regional rural banks. The Cabinet also gave its approval for forming an expert group to classify the caste names returned in the Socio-Economic and Caste Census 2011. The group will be headed by Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Arvind Pangadia. Heavy rainfall and electrocution of a worker at a venue of his public meeting in Varanasi forced Prime Minister Narendra Modi to cancel his visit to his Lok Sabha constituency. Prime Minister Modi condoled the death of the worker. The Prime Minister was to launch an integrated power development scheme and a trauma centre at Banaras Hindu University. This is the second time the Prime Minister's visit to Varanasi has been put off in about a month's time. The first meeting of the India-Myanmar Joint Consultative Commission was held in New Delhi to take stock of the overall bilateral ties, besides identifying areas for further stepping up engagement. The meeting was co-chaired by External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and Myanmar's Foreign Minister Buna Muang Lin. India has sought consular access for an Indian who is among 20 foreigners arrested in northern China for suspected terror links, after its embassy in Beijing received a note verbal from Chinese authorities in this regard. Police detained the Indian on charges of violating criminal law. The Indian was among 20 foreigners arrested in Inner Mongolia for alleged terror links. Supreme Court has agreed to hear CBI's plea on Monday, seeking a direction to SIT to keep filing charge sheets in the Vyapam scam cases in which probes are over. The court is to hear the petition today of 2 whistleblowers seeking protection. The CBI registered 5 FIRs in the case related to examination rigging and scam. The Allahabad High Court today ordered a CBI probe into alleged corruption by Noida Chief Engineer Yadav Singh on a PIL accusing him of amassing huge property disproportionate to his known sources of income. The Lucknow bench of the High Court passed the order on a PIL by the social activist Nutan Thakur. A day after hike in VAT rates on petrol and diesel in Delhi, BJP and Congress accused the AAP government of cheating and betrayal as they staged separate protests in the city. Delhi BJP chief Satish Upadhyay said the AAP government's justification to hike the rates did not have any basis, as Kejriwal was spending hundreds of crores for self-glorification. Sounding the bugle for the upcoming Bihar Assembly polls, BJP President Amit Shah today launched the party's campaign in the state by rolling out 160 Raths. The Raths will fan out in different directions and traverse the length and breadth of the state and will take the party's audio-visual messages to the people. In Assam, over 73,000 people are reeling under the fury of floods. Communication has been snapped at several areas due to the floods. Official sources said that nearly 200 villages have been affected in the current surge of water. NDRF and SDRF teams have been pressed into service in the worst-hit Sonitpur district, where 139 villages are affected. Department of Telecommunication has released the Net Neutrality Report. The panel, led by A.K. Bhargava, has recommended the core principles of net neutrality be adhered to. The panel report said user right on the internet needs to be ensured so that telecom and internet service providers do not restrict the ability of the user to receive or share data. And in international news, Eurozone finance ministers will hold a conference to discuss the next steps in negotiating a third bailout package for Greece. In a late-night session, Greek MPs approved tough economic measures required to enable an €86 billion bailout deal to go ahead. The legislation includes tax rises and increase in the retirement age.